Hey, welcome back to another episode of Explore the Spectrum. I'm your host, Janetta Bryant, and today we are joined with Jamiel Owens. How are you doing, Jamiel?
I am blessed and I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me. When I got your email, I was like, of course, like it's a no brainer. Of course, I'm going to be here. So I'm definitely appreciative of you having me here.
Well, we're really excited to hear about all the things that you've got going on. We have such a variety of kids that need support, and all of our kids need different support. So, the more that we can all collaborate and work together and have different voices in different communities trying to make that happen, the better they're all going to be. Now, I know that you have a podcast. And
Yes.
I know that you have different resources that you're trying to supply parents with and the community with in general. Tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
So, first and foremost, I just want to touch base on what you're doing. What you're doing is amazing. Keep on doing it because we do need this. Just like you said, the visibility, the connectivity between communities all across the world, we need this. What I'm doing is on a similar path. It's just that being an autism father myself, I created the Awesome Show, the platform to address the needs and the concerns of men. No disrespect to the awesome mothers out there. That was my healing process for me to be able to serve other men that are going through the same diagnosis as I went through when my son Shane was diagnosed with autism at 3. Fast forward to now, I have a nonprofit called Ausomeness Incorporated, and it's basically a a safe space where an autistic can thrive and a community is built. That's actually our mission statement. And that encompasses me to go out into the community to continue advocating, but also to be able to provide family with resources and autistic individuals themselves with resources. Also, too, I happen to work with a great big health organization here in Philadelphia, which I'm proud and very honored to do so, being able to be out in the community and still be able to do what my mission is personally, but be able to effectively communicate with our community. So it's a lot. I hate talking about myself. I'm a humble guy. I hate talking about everything that I do. I just like to get out there and actually get it done. That's my motto.
Right. Well, you have to let others know how to support that, right? And so coming on and helping us understand some of your initiatives is important. Tell when you say that you want to create a safe space for our kids, what does that mean? Does that mean that you're wanting to help different businesses in the community understand them better so that they can thrive in all areas? Or are you trying to help professionals already within the community support them better? Explain that a little bit more for me.
Great question. So, not only am I looking to help organizations when I'm speaking about a safe space understand, include, um, make sure we get rid of ableist language, but also to help the stakeholders in the community. We can't do anything without the stakeholders in the community. Help them thrive as far as what they're trying to do in their communities in the area for autism. But also, too, safe space. When we talk about safe space, I think about originality. In today's society, we tell people of the neurotypical world that they can be anybody they want to be. But when it comes down to sometimes our children who are on the spectrum or who represent that community of individuals with autism or intellectual disabilities, we kind of hope them and say, oh, well, you might want to play it safe. Why is that? We have to acknowledge individuals not only who are neurodiverse, but those in the neurotypical communities, both communities, what inclusion looks like. So instead of jumping the bandwagon and going on with a lot of people, what they're doing, their summaries of inclusion, I'm out here actually trying to make my own summary. And my own summary encompasses those stakeholders, those autistics, and organizations working together collectively to make a safe space for everyone to learn about autism, to learn about intellectual disabilities, to learn about other disabilities.
Oh my gosh, a beautiful mission to be on. And I applaud you in the efforts that you're already making and completing and excelling at because it is necessary. We have to figure out that. I talk to people all the time about. I have two kids, right? I have a son, I have a daughter. I have a son that's neurotypical, I have a daughter that's neurodiverse. I'm going to pour everything I have into him being the very best version of himself. Why would I stop short of doing the exact same thing for my daughter? And so, just along the same lines of what you're saying, we can't limit them by what we define inclusion to be. We have to continue to see what inclusion can be for our kids to be their best and shine. Beautiful, beautiful mission and work that you're doing. When you talked about being a dad and having to look at things a little bit differently from your perspective, it is so true. There are 1,000 different moms that are out there that are doing groups and doing different ways of bringing people together. But our dads don't always want to just sit around and feel like they're going to a support group. They want to feel like they're talking to somebody, maybe having a drink and watching a game together, but they're in good company with a guy that's going through the same thing, right? It's a very different, and I know that this might get some ears alerted here, but it's a grieving process that we have to go through before we can figure out what we're doing. We envision who our child is going to be before they're ever born. And so when they're born and we're given additional challenges to try to, navigate through, there's a grieving process that comes with that. And moms do it one way and dads do it another. And having support for those dads is important. This is I don't know the most recent statistic, but this is a highly, highly sensitive area for divorces because you got a mom and a dad that are doing it differently. And if we can bring some of these dads along to get the support they need, maybe that means that we're saving some marriages too and giving that child both of their parents to help them. So tell us a little bit about your podcast and how you're helping dads, because I know that there's going to be some people that want to follow you on that.
So the Ausomeness Show, which is spelled different, TheAusomesshow, on all social media platforms, as well as on Spotify. The podcast really comes from a father's perspective, my perspective, which I give out information and also opinions about my personal interaction with the actual subject at hand, what we're talking about. I have guests on as well telling their stories, but I always leave room for someone to make a comment or a suggestion to me. This podcast is not you have to be top notch, you have to be a professional. You could be someone, an autistic who lives in Colorado, who says, hey, I want to get on and I want to talk about my story. My podcast and my platform has been found by the grassroots structure. It's for the people, by the people. So that's how I like to do my topics. That's how I like to come from. And I like to say in the beginning of my episode, mi casa es su casa. So you come into the Ausomeness Show, this is your house, your family. And that's what I generate, a lot of my strength from to do everything that I can do in the advocacy realm that I do both personally and professionally is just, love. You guys are my family, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your skin color, because autism affects everybody. And that's the narrative that I want to change.
It's true. All right. So if people are looking for you, they know how to find the podcast. Is there any other website that we need to be mentioning right now?
No, you can find me there. Also, too, I do work for Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. I am the family relations coordinator here. You can email me if you have any questions. If you need some support, meaning a shoulder to lean on, an ear to listen to you, I'm here for that. And my email address is OWENS, J as in jump, D as in dog, at CHOP.edu. Let's make some connections. Let's make this right in the world. Let's listen to each other and love on each other hard.
Oh my gosh. You're speaking my heart language right now. I've loved having you on. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. And for all of our viewers, thank you for joining us on this episode as we continue to explore the possibilities.